Hello, everyone. Welcome to Podcast by the Fire, week number 5. This is Ilias Leonidas, your host. This will be serving as Podcast by the Fire for Monday, January 28th to February the 3rd. So, wanted to just address real quick. Unfortunately, these Podcasts by the Fires are very far behind right now. I have some other things going on in my life, so I'm still trying to play catch up, and I still do like the idea of having a weekly, end of the week podcast that rounds up the week's news or different things that may have occurred. And oh boy, did something occur this week. Starting on the 28th is the opening of what we're going to refer to as the PC Platform Wars. Big battle between Steam, the longtime sole large game distributing platform, and the upstart Epic Games. Now, many people, and my opinion on it, I don't mind Epic Games looking to get into this market. I actually like Steam a lot. I know certain people have a lot more qualms with it, and I'm not saying Steam is perfect, but I wasn't really looking for a new gaming platform to jump on board or be a part of. I've already, had to download Origin to play EA games occasionally. Oh my god. Battle.net, it's not Origin, but it's still not as good as Steam, and I've never played Fallout 76, so I haven't had to suffer through Bethesda's. But my point being that Steam has been kind of the premier gaming service and gaming store. Well, starting this week, starting on the 28th, Epic Games really kind of initiated this push to compete with Steam. Now, they've already announced some stuff, and before this, we had The Division 2 by Ubisoft being announced as part of coming to the Epic Games platform. But with Metro Exodus, Epic Games snagged away a awesome franchise. I have played 2033 and Last Light, and they were both amazing games. So it was kind of a shock when, at least for me, it was a shock to find out Epic Games had convinced them to come to the platform. But that's also where this controversy starts, and a lot of this big news from this week occurs. Epic Games made a deal with Metro Exodus to make their newest game, Metro Exodus, a exclusive to the Epic Games Store for 1 year, and preventing or shutting down any remaining sales that could occur on Steam for that year's time. That was a really, really dumb move by Epic Games, and a really shitty policy that Epic has kind of shown they're going to pursue and going to pursue heavily, and where a lot of controversy and pushback and kind of just general maybe hatred or unhappiness from the PC gaming community has come out and been directed at Epic Games. And it's because of this exclusivity deals, and it's the way apparently Epic Games sees its path to competing or potentially beating Steam. And how they plan on doing that is kind of stealing great games or great franchises by paying them tons of money. And because Epic is actually doing something better than Steam and their revenue splits, the way it would work is if a game comes to Epic Games platform, they get 88% of the sale from a game, and Epic only takes 12%. That compared to Steam, which takes 30%, and the remaining 70% goes to the people that actually made the game and did most of the work. So I understand it's smart on Epic's part that revenue divide. What's not smart is this newest tactic that they've initiated. This exclusivity deals have really pissed off a lot of the PC gaming community. And not only has the exclusivity deals pissed off a lot of people, because these games aren't being developed by Epic Game Studios. They're just being bought at the last minute and prevented from entering to other platforms. It's the idea that they're going to do this, and especially on a game like Metro Exodus, which has had a huge following on Steam, they're going to do it 2 weeks before launch. And that is terrible, and it's so terrible it actually screws me over. I have not bought Metro Exodus, and that means I will not be able to get Metro Exodus on Steam, at least for a year. And realistically, I don't plan on buying Metro Exodus on Epic's Game Store. And that's not to say that I wouldn't want to look at Epic's Game Store as a possibility. It's just something that's kind of pissed me off by them doing this. They kind of pulled the curtain, or they pulled the carpet out, and I don't understand why. Well, I mean, I understand why. It's to kind of steal business from Steam and get people looking at them. But for gamers like me that didn't get to pre-order the game, it pisses me off because now instead of having it as part of my Steam game library of where I have like 200 other games, I'd have to buy it on the Epic Store, and it's just going to be by itself. And that means every time I want to play it, I just open the Epic Game Store and play it by itself. And now I do have the Epic launcher already. I played Fortnite for a while, and I enjoy that game despite some people hating it. I think it's an alright free-to-play game. It is what it is. But I don't want to buy a game, especially since I know it's going to come to Steam in a year's time. So I'll just wait for it in a year's time to come to Steam and join my larger and much more impressive game library on a platform I've enjoyed a lot more than any other competitors that have existed thus far, and that includes Epic's Game's newest push. So it's just a really shitty and shady move on Epic Games' part, and a really bad decision by the publishers of Metro, which I believe 4K I think develops it. Deep Silver I think is the publisher, Koch Media. It's a really bad decision. It's a really business decision on their part, so I really don't agree with it. But it has initiated kind of the opening stages of this PC platform, or PC gaming wars, and it was a really bad move on Epic's part, because whatever grace and kind of positive features that people were looking at, like that revenue split, have kind of soured. Now, just to touch on the revenue split real quick, I think that was a really smart thing, and if Metro Exodus hadn't been on sale already on a Steam platform for, I don't know, however long it's been on sale already, it's a great thing because it reduces the price, at least if the publishers allow it, or it gives publishers a greater amount of income. And it's great when they pass that savings down to the consumer. By selling the game at $50, Metro Exodus would actually still net Deep Silver about $2 more per sale than selling it at $60 on Steam because of the much lower cut. And that's crazy, selling the game at, you know, a discounted, 1/6 of the cost, basically. Discounting 1/6 of the price. And still making more money off of it is an awesome idea for developers, and a really great way to entice developers and people that make games into making better games, or understanding that they will have a greater stream of revenue. And it's a great business idea from Epic's point of view, because you're going to really attract a lot of game developers to your platform. And hey, I'm somebody that loves to support different PC and just different game developers in general. And yeah, if I know they're getting bigger cut and I can support them better, I wouldn't mind going to the Epic Store if it's the same quality as Steam, but that's another issue. So basically, Epic shot itself in the foot with this decisions from this week, and it seems that Epic wants to pursue this timed exclusivity /exclusivity deals to the Epic Store. I think it's a really bad decision. It left a sour taste in my mouth, and I was actually pretty neutral, or all right with the idea of Epic Games or the creation of it. I wasn't really looking for it, but I don't mind a platform that seeks to give greater shares to the people that actually make the games. And I don't mind some competition for Valve if that causes greater, products or ideas. I was on the platform before we had game reviews, or user reviews, I should say. And, that was a very different kind of format. And I'm glad the community basically pressured Valve into creating it, or, Valve finally did it. And hopefully having a competitor like this, an Epic that this large, will cause and create competition. But it concerns me, and I'm sure it concerns a lot of the game community. It doesn't really look that way because Epic's not seemingly looking to create more innovative user interface or company store. Epic just seems to be throw around a lot of money, and the game developers and the gamers will come. If you build it, they will come. Except they kind of don't want to because you pissed them off. So that was kind of the big news from this week. Start of these PC wars. Epic shooting itself in the foot. Steam hasn't really responded a ton. They did respond before a lot of this kerfuffle. They created that revenue model, but that revenue model is only in favor of huge game companies. So now we'll see what Steam will end up ultimately doing if this pushes them to do certain things. Epic doesn't have anything that I see really entices me to join their platform. I mean, I do have an account on there, but I'm not going to buy a game on Epic's game store out of my way, especially a game that's on both platforms. Though, again, Epic's kind of decision or their path they're hoping to create is by just using a shit ton of money to bring good games exclusively to their marketplace, which really sucks for us as the consumer. We're not getting to make the decision on which platform is a better platform. And it's kind of the reason why I think a lot of this kind of justified backlash has come towards Epic Games. I feel bad for 4K because I love the Metro series, but, especially Deep Silver making this decision to go exclusive with Epic is just a really bad decision. Really stupid. They could have kept both games on both platforms, and they could have just offered it at $50 on the Epic Game Store. Think about how smart of a move that would have been from Epic's part. Yeah, you can buy the game from either platform, but you can get $10 cheaper here, and you can help the people that actually make the game receive a larger amount of money by also you yourself saving. I would have been all for that. I can't believe they're stupid enough to kind of not look into that, not try to sell the product that way. But, it is what it is. We'll see how it all ends up unfolding. I think this is where we'll leave it off as well. So we'll see how these PC wars develop. We'll see whether issues may emerge. I want this podcast by the fire. I was looking to create these videos a lot shorter. Originally, the first couple I released were near an hour. I've been slowly wanting to trim them down, just cover my opinion / a small recap for anyone that doesn't follow, and kind of just recap the week. Now, there's definitely other events going on, and as I get these formats a little bit better, I may make the series a little bit more comprehensive, only a couple minutes covering each subject matter, though I think this one is definitely deserving of taking up a whole week because, this is going to be interesting and to see what's come. And it also is really disappointing because I won't be seeing you, Metro Exodus, for 1 year. Well, this has been Ilias Leonidas with Podcast by the Fire. I'll talk to you next week when we cover a new topic and see what's going on in the gaming world. Ciao for now.